We're going to be making scones today. It's a very simple, easy recipe to make. It makes a batch of 4 scones, so it's great if you have a small family. These are best warm, so you're probably going to want to eat them the same day that you make them. And they are pretty flexible in terms of what you can put in them. So to make a really basic biscuit scone recipe, you take 1 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar. So this isn't very sweet. Most of the sweetness that you get from this will come from either the jam that you spread on it or any kind of fruit that you might put into it. And then you're also going to add to that 1/2 of a tablespoon of baking powder. And that's your basic scone mix. To this, you can add some spices. So it could be a basic spice like cinnamon. I like to use coriander when I bake. It has a really fruity, unusual smell. If you get some and you smell it, it will probably smell to you like Fruit Loops. And so not too much, like maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. If you want gingerbread scones, you could use a mixture of clove and ginger and cinnamon. And if you want, you can add something else to it. We're going to add some lemon peel. So about a teaspoon of lemon peel to this one. And if you do want to add fruit to the scone mix, you can add about 1/4 of a cup of fruit, but you're going to want some kind of hard fruit. So like currants or dried blueberries or chopped up dates. No soft fruit, because this is, like I said, a biscuity kind of scone, not a cake scone. And if you put a soft fruit in, it will just smash up the fruit. So then, once you've mixed up the dry, you're just going to add 10 tablespoons of cream, whipping cream. So there's no butter that needs to be cut in or eggs. All of the moisture and all of the fat come from the cream that you've added to this mixture. So you just stir it up enough so that it's kind of incorporated. And then you're going to turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. And if you've ever made baking powder biscuits, it's very similar in that you're going to kind of bring it together this last little bit through some really gentle kneading. So when you're not going to knead it like you would knead bread, because that would make it really tough, but you just kind of pull it together and fold it over a little bit. That, and then so you're going to get something that's about this size, and then you just cut it into 4s, and then each one of these goes on a sheet pan. It doesn't need to be greased. If you have parchment paper, you can put it under if you want, but you don't have to. And then if you have a little bit of cream left over, you can put a little dollop on the top of each one and kind of rub it around a little bit. That will help it brown when it goes in the oven. So then you're going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees and bake them for about 15 minutes. They should puff up really nicely, and you'll know they're done if you go to give them a little bit of poke and if they don't smush. So, 15, 16 minutes, nice brown top. And then when you bring them out of the oven, they're great if you just cut them in half and put a little bit of jam on them, or maybe a little bit of butter. So, and we'll post this with the picture of the finished product and the actual recipe. Thank you.